Destina Rosethorn was a child of destiny. She was born in the year 337 AC, and she came by her name when her mother, Atieno, read the omens and told her father, Knight of the Crown Gregory Rosethorn, that his child would shape the destiny of nations. Gregory was loyal to the measure, as were all true Solamnic knights, and he did not believe in omens, for they implied that man had no control over his own fate. Given that his son would be the scion of a wealthy and influential knight of the crown, Gregory did not need an omen to foretell the future. He chose the name Destin, which means destiny, and gave Atieno a pair of golden earrings in the shape of crowns to mark the occasion. Gregory was therefore understandably surprised when the child who was to shape the destiny of nations turned out to be a girl. Atieno had known from the omens that she would bear a daughter, but she had withheld that knowledge from her husband. Among her people, female children were trained as warriors to fight alongside the men, for their tribe was small, and if it was attacked, everyone must come to its defense. But her husband was Solamnic, and while women were trained to fight in the defense of the home, they could not become knights or inherit property without a special dispensation. Atieno loved her husband with all her heart. She would have done anything to please him, except the one thing over which she had no control. She had not been able to give him a son, to carry on the family name and traditions. Atieno need not have worried, however. Gregory loved his daughter from the moment she drew her first breath, and he decided to name her Destina, for, as he said, she is destined to be her father's salvation. He had meant nothing by it except that, unlike a son, a daughter would be there to comfort and care for him when his hair grew gray and his sight grew dim. So he often teased Destina. She would come to hear those words differently, however, and they would come to haunt her. Gregory had anticipated that sons would still come to him to bear the family name, inherit Castle Rosethorn, and continue the Rosethorn line, but they did not. The next child was a boy who died at birth, and no more children came after. Yet if Gregory was disappointed, he never revealed it to his daughter. As was typical of many Solamnic knights, Gregory raised his daughter as he would have raised his son, for Solamnic history was rife with tales of valiant women who had helped the keep after their menfolk had fallen. He taught Destina to ride and hunt and fight with sword and shield. He took her with him mounted on the front of his horse when she was small. He educated her, taught her to read and write and cipher. He told her the legends of all the great knights of old. Destina's favorite was the legend of Huma Dragonbane. She would often imagine she was the famous knight, and enlivened her sword practice by battling mythical dragons with famed Dragonlances, forged of magical dragon metal and given to Huma when he rode his dragon into battle against the Queen of Darkness. Destina's Dragonlance was forged of a broom handle, and her small pony played the role of dragon. She pictured herself as Huma's squire, heroically fighting at his side when all the other cowards had abandoned him. Destina had been devastated to learn at the age of 8 that women were not permitted under the measure to become knights. She had railed against this prohibition to her father. "Why can't women become knights, Papa? It is not fair. I can run faster and ride better than any boy. I can fight, too. I always beat Berthel when we were playing knights and goblins." "And his parents were none too pleased that you gave him a bloody nose and split lip," said Gregory, smiling. "I do not necessarily agree with the measure in this. Your mother is a skilled warrior and could probably best any knight in the field." "The measure is wrong, Papa," said Destina. "When I grow up, I will change it." "I hope you do," said Gregory. "But you will have other duties and responsibilities that are far more important than becoming a knight." "What are those, Papa?" Destina asked. "You will be the Lady of Castle Rosethorn," said her father. Destina had never given much thought to inheriting her father's legacy until her father had said those words, but she had heard the pride in his voice. From that moment, her plans and dreams shifted. She would become the Lady of Castle Rosethorn and be honored and renowned throughout the land. But plans change. and dreams die when faced with harsh reality.